Hello YouTubers, welcome back to Dreamworld Observatory. This is where we discuss backyard astronomy. Today our topic is going to be the big window. Stick around and we'll see just what that is. The big window, huh? So you want to know what that is? Well, if you have a telescope, and I assume you do because we just passed Christmas and a lot of you got a telescope or you got some new equipment for your telescope. Or maybe your child did. Either way, you're wondering now, just what is the big window? Well, the big window I'm referring to is when you look through your telescope, sometimes you get this jammed up picture and you're looking at a planet and you don't see nothing else, or you're trying to look at a cluster and you can't hardly see it because you've got so much power on it. Well, today we're going to talk about how to get a big window. You remember when you was talking about stargazing, we discussed binoculars? Binoculars were really great when you looked up and you saw these big open spaces of Orion's nebula, Orion constellation, and you looked at the Milky Way and you saw all this big vastness. Well, you can do the same thing with your telescope. And you say, well, how can I do that? Because I got a high power and I've got a low power. This is basically what you're going to get with the telescope, either one or both. If it's just one, it's going to be the low power. What came with my particular telescope was a high power that was a 12.4 millimeter and a 26 millimeter, which was my low power. So the best wide open view you're going to get with your telescope is going to be with your low power. Now we talked about that was really all you really needed, because you could take a Barlow and put with it and you would have 4 eyepieces. Now that's good. That saves money. Well, once you get into really looking around with a telescope, you kind of get that itch, you want some more eyepieces. Well, if you look at me, I've got plenty of eyepieces. Now, here's what's really going on. If you want to see a big open picture and looking at the Milky Way or anything like that, or you want to see big wide open spaces with Orion, which is huge. If you look up at the sky, you'll see how big Orion is. You want to see Orion with stuff all around it. Well, the way to do that is with a low power. This low power is not quite going to do it. So what you want to do is you either want to go to a lower power, and hence we don't have one. So we're going to go, I'm going to show you how we're going to get there. The next low power after this one comes in between this, so we're going to just skip that for a minute. Let's go to something past this. You can get another eyepiece, which will be, in this case, this will be a 32 millimeter. And that's a pretty wide open eyepiece. So you can really see pretty good with that. That's going to really help you see out, open up the world for you to see. Another one would be to step into, this is a 40. Now 40 is getting pretty close to about all you're going to do with 1¼ eyepieces and still see good. That is huge. This will give you a breathtaking view from your telescope. Now, can you put your doubler on those? Sure you can. You can make that, but that's not going to, probably not going to give you the kind of view that you want. You're better off when you're going to a low power is not to use a Barlow. Just go ahead and use it as it is. You'll get a sharper, better picture. There is one more that I have that I really do like, and I'll show it to you, but it's only for my big telescope. Well, before we do that, you can actually get some better views. These are standard eyepieces. You can get some better views by purchasing different kinds of eyepieces. Now I have some here. Now this is a high power. This is an 8.8 millimeter, and it gives me what is called an ultra wide view of the sky for high power. And I have one that's a little bit lower. This is a 14 millimeter. And it also gives me a ultra wide view. Thing is, both of these eyepieces come before, come before this one. One's on this side, one's on the other. This is a 15. That one's a 14. Now you see the difference in this one. It's not that much difference in the regular standard eyepiece. But when you go to this 14 here, I don't know if you can actually see that, but it's about that size. Okay, now that'll give us some wide look. Both these are multiple ways that you can get wide views and still see everything you want to see and really seem good. But just remember, don't go with none of these high or real low power eyepieces and put a ball low on them, because you're probably going to be very disappointed. There's one more I wanted to show you, and it's the only one I have that's a 2-inch. 2-inch, I mean by the size of the eyepiece. This eyepiece is huge. It's a 2-inch eyepiece, and it goes to my big scope. This one is a 56 millimeter. Now you're talking about a breathtaking view through a telescope. We're talking about a wide open view now. This one will give it to you if you have a telescope that will accept 2-inch eyepieces. Most of these small scopes will not accept 2-inch eyepieces. This one will. That's going to wrap it up basically for how to get a wide view. Now this was a response from someone named, and I'm not going to call the whole name, a person by the name of Phil was interested in being sure that I brought up to you people about the biggest eyepieces you can possibly get on your telescope, because he's correct. If you want, looking at planets is one thing, that requires high power, but looking at the sky with a pair of binoculars is awesome. But if you'll take a very low power eyepiece and put it in your telescope, you're in for a treat, because it will outdo a pair of binoculars and it will take your breath away. Worth every dime you ever spent on a low power eyepiece. So until next time, enjoy your telescope. Think about some of them wide window views and keep looking up.